Well,
How are my levels?
You're perfect. You're fine.
Okay, I guess I'm not doing a local recording.
All right, John.
That's okay. We're not doing a broadcast anyway, so
broadcasting. We're live right now.
I thought you said there was an error.
No, there was. I fixed it.
Oh. Well, we're starting off.
Brave new world.
Yeah, we're trying this out.
Should I have... Well, I'm not allowed to type, so I don't even have to have Discord open because I can't respond to anything. Not that I do anyway.
So I don't think the link sent out isn't working. We have to find out what the live link is. Something's broadcasting. Let me see.
Well...
Well, the audio is broadcasting, but there's no video.
Oh, no. I don't have the video on yet.
Oh, okay. Well, I have the link if you want it.
Alright, that sounds super weird on my side.
That sounds super weird.
Me, I think I have to turn off Audacity.
Oh, look at the new image you've got up there.
Yeah. Can you guys send out the correct link?
I sent it on Slack.
I know. Can you do a reply to the tweet with the correct link? I need to do something about my heavy breathing. Actually, I don't think that's me. I think might be you, Thomas.
What? I'm getting a huge amount of delay from you.
Alright, I gotta turn off my Audacity. Alright. How about now? Are you still getting delay?
Yeah, video and audio are completely desynced.
Don't worry about the video on Skype. That's not what's broadcasting. Here, I'll
yeah, it is really bad though. Very distracting.
Just don't look at the video. Just listen to the audio.
That's not how conversations work.
Alright. So, learning new things here. Doing new stuff.
You need to bring your mic closer to your mouth or something.
I do. I feel like I'm getting too much heavy breathing when I do that. I got the whole Darth Vader.
But it's so much better that way, sound wise.
Let me see something. If I mute the mics, does that mute everybody's mic?
I don't know. Does it?
Wow, you've got me zoomed all the way in. Please don't do that.
It's not me. I'm not doing. Did you guys hear me when I said that? It's not me. I'm not doing that. Okay. So let's just mute the stream. Yeah, that's you.
It's totally you. That is not.
Here, boom. Give it a second. I know you're on a delay there. I mean, I don't have control over it. That's the way the video comes in. That's what I get right there. Like, oh wait, it's not. There you go. It's on the stream now.
That is.
I'm not seeing
horrendous.
Any change.
Your stream's not updating?
Well, now you're going to individual.
Right. That's. I was just showing Thomas. Yeah. New stuff, man. Come on now. This is cool. Look. Got our not that one. Yeah, right there. Patreon. Got our Patreons up there, right? Yeah. You share.
I do not approve of the quality of my face.
There's not much you're going to be able to do about that, buddy. Your face is, you understand that's your face, right? So,
yeah. No, I already gave my mom a lot of crap about it.
Alright. Look, I know we're talking on a delay, but I got a special panel for you. Yeah, wait for the, oh my goodness. John's upside down.
I don't know, what are you doing over there?
Moving my camera, you monster.
Not you.
Look, I got a whole doom and gloom set up for you, Thomas.
Oh, jeez.
Let's see.
Oh, with Jagger? Nice.
Yeah.
Is it Jagger or Jaeger?
It depends on how drunk you are. John, you should see what I've done here to help reduce the echo in this room.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
What did you do?
Well, right now, I'm about to take... we got 12 people watching us somehow. Whoa, what happened to... Huh.
Happened to what?
Thomas.
He's trying to move his camera, like, across the room.
Oh my goodness. Really? Now is the time he's trying to do that?
You're doing this to me. Okay, you've known I had this face for a long time. You just didn't tell me.
Oh my goodness.
It's gonna suck not being able to use my computer while you guys are rambling about crap.
Well, you can try participating on the show. I don't know. That might work.
No. That sounds horrible.
Is this better?
You're still you.
It's the same. You didn't change anything.
What did you think you were improving on there exactly?
It's further away from me, like a little.
like a quarter of an inch?
And it's facing my good side now.
You have a good side?
Also, I need to get a screenshot of that real quick.
What's that?
Oh, it's too late.
Okay. All right, people. Look, we're losing viewers here. We're down to 10. I don't know what's happening.
Well, I'm one of them. I don't know why.
Made it clear. My face.
All right. So, John, you're doing the local recording because it doesn't seem like anybody else can do a local recording. Thomas just looked behind him real quick to make sure didn't have his bong up there.
I know where my bong is.
All right, then I'm just going to start recording now.
Yeah. Definitely start recording now.
All right, I'm recording.
All right.
Except it's kind of pointless because I'm set up for Google Chrome, not for Skype.
We got our Patreon link, our Discord link, and our website.
Application.
That'll work.
And you're making this way more difficult than it needs to be.
Get on that.
And now I hear myself.
Buttery Crumpet. Get on that immediately. We need 1,000 YouTube viewers, subscribers, so that we could do
Perfect.
things.
Oh, hang on, I can't hear you now. That doesn't work. I can't record either.
And the stream is down.
Why do you think the stream is down?
Because I'm getting the endless spinning.
Oh. I mean, on my side, it's still showing live.
Oh, no, it was just me, I guess?
No, you're right. Oh, no.
No.
Discord, are we down, or? It's like HD.
No, I see it up. Except for the fact that I'm not going to be able to record either.
All right. Well, we'll just record and we'll grab the audio from YouTube, I guess. Otherwise, this may be the lost PHP Ugly episode that never actually becomes a podcast.
So, Thomas, I guess I was having the same issue you were. Once I put Skype into Audio Hijack,
yeah, Skype wants to own the channel. It won't share it.
Stupid Microsoft. Why are we using Skype?
It worked for me. It just, I was getting my own feedback in my ear.
Right.
That's why
That's what we're talking about. That's what was happening to me. And if you
I wasn't getting that. My Skype took over the computer. It would not allow the stream to go to any other source.
See, for me, it was the other way around, where Skype wouldn't share. So I was getting the feedback from Audio Hijack. As soon as I turned that off, I heard nothing from you guys. That was kind of weird. Anyway, whatever. No local recording.
No local recordings.
OBS.
What about OBS?
If you run OBS locally and then tell Skype that OBS is your camera, then you should still be able to get...
Well, you do that. I'm not doing that. I've got like a million things. I have a whole control panel here, man. All right.
Oh, God.
I think we're out of time. Thanks for listening. I'm John Congdon.
We're like 15 minutes in. Are we ready? We're going to kick this off?
I'm ending.
Kick it off. Do it.
John, you want it?
What? You want what? What episode are we on?
133, 40, 34, 13, what?
133. 133, according to this. Welcome to PHP Ugly episode 133. I'm your host, John Congdon. With me, my good friend, Eric Van Johnson.
Hello, hello.
Man, that delay is killing me. And my other best friend, Tom Rideout.
Hey!
Hey, it worked.
You're listening to the Lost episode.
Yeah, this one's not going to make it anywhere.
If you're listening to this as a podcast, something fantastic has happened and actually went our way. Otherwise, you're going to have to be watching this one as a live stream. We're trying some new things out with our stream, and it's caused a few hiccups in our normal workflow. So we apologize. Or maybe we don't apologize. Maybe we're doing you a favor. Maybe if this one never actually gets released, we're doing some of our listeners a favor.
We're changing way too many variables at once.
In production on a Friday night. That's the way you do it, baby. No, for us it's a Thursday night, but, same principle.
So the problem with this new setup is you're going to be sharing screens that we're not going to see unless we're watching the YouTube stream, which is on a delay on my screen over here and very distracting.
Yes, that's the one problem with this setup.
Well, I mean, you don't have to worry about the. Don't worry about what I'm sharing. Just assume I'm doing a fantastic job.
I'm definitely afraid of what you're going to be sharing. Way too much control over there.
So the only thing not the only thing. Obviously, we've run into a couple of issues with our new streaming software. And by the way, a big thanks goes out to Michael Dorinda, who heard me complaining about wanting to up our live stream presentation a little bit and some of the challenges I was having with OBS on Mac. And he suggested some new software, which is what I'm doing now. And it's got its pluses and its minuses. One of the minuses that came to me immediately was in OBS, I was able to stream a Discord overlay, which allowed the Discord chat to show up. And this doesn't have that functionality, but I can make do without that. That's not that big of a deal. And of course, obviously, we're running into a couple of other small issues we need to work through. A lot of this is just figuring out the new workflow. Man, I am seeing a delay on my end now that's driving me nuts. I don't know if that's what's going live or not, but
if it makes you feel any better, there's 2 delays because I'm also watching you being delayed and the stream, which is double delayed.
Right. So if you listen to the stream, am I delayed on the stream?
I don't know.
Open question time on PHP Ugly. Hey, how's the stream doing?
Hey, anybody in Discord? Am I delayed on the stream? And if you're not in Discord, if you look in the upper left-hand corner of our stream, that would be our Discord link. If you would like to join us, I think it's it's like right here. I think it's right here for me.
Well, it's right above your head. That's easy for you.
According to Gishu, we're in sync. So
everybody says we're in sync. How do you guys like this? You guys like this? Big thumbs up if you do. Somebody thumbed up. Somehow I'm getting thumbs ups in an interface here. I don't know what that's about, but so this is cool. I mean, this is going to allow us to share some things on the live stream. Like I said, we're just looking to up the video stream a little bit, so you don't have to look at our ugly faces so much. And I want to do things like share the Discord not Discord. Share our Patreon people that contribute to Patreon, give them a big shout out and thanks and all of that and stuff like that. So that's what this is about. We may abandon it. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But
we'll test it a little bit more first, I think.
Yeah.
I just made the mistake of looking in Discord. I don't know where Gishu was starting with the comments tonight. Yeah. He's jacked up on Red Bull. He's a truck driver. A couple of shitters here. Yeah. Okay. I hope you're pulled over and not trying to drive and watch this, man. Okay. So John, I think you'd appreciate my setup right now to help reduce the echo in here. Remind me to show you tomorrow, and I'll show you. John, right. I don't know how recording is going to work if we actually try doing it from the office together. Having 2 mics in the same room. I'm no audio engineer. I think it's going to be horrible.
Well, we'll figure that out.
As opposed to this, which is professional grade.
Everybody seems to like it. They seem to like the stream. It seems to be working fine, man.
Well, I'm going to have to get a new microphone arm because the fact that I can't do anything because if I touch my desk, you guys complain about it.
Mm-hmm.
It's killing me.
I was actually going to mention that earlier.
Eric's did. Were you not paying attention to him?
No. I'm literally looking at 5 of us.
Don't look! Minimize everything! You don't need to look at anything!
Not look! I'm horrified.
Oh, man. Hey, it's good to be back, by the way. I was not here last week.
No, we didn't miss you.
I didn't think you did.
Protein deficiency from that vegan diet just passed right out.
That, or it was my wife's birthday on Friday, and I wasn't going to spend the night before doing this. That's just ridiculous.
Passing out on your wife's birthday sounds awful.
Nope, not in the hospital again. Not this time. Gishu. I'm watching. Sorry.
So we do have a little news, a little coding news. John has grown to embrace Laravel more and more.
Oh my gosh, I got my little microservice not completed, but in a good functional state. If I could get the ops people to get it on stable hardware. And the problem is they're NFS mounting from AWS into a data center in Vegas. So that's not stable.
Ouch. That's horrible.
Yeah. But I've got a workaround, and I'm really loving a lot of the configuration options. I was able to get it posting to Slack when NFS wasn't working within a minute. I mean, put in a couple configuration options, and I was good to go. I wish shocked.
So what is it? I mean, what about Laravel are you liking right now? I mean, what's got you kind of at all?
Well, just the fact that I get to work in a framework is a good thing. The fact that I was able to write this microservice pretty damn quickly. I have a couple of API endpoints. It's processing audio files, taking an MP3, turning it into a wave, pushing it up to S3, storing it on NFS, updating database records, all very seamlessly. Mm-hmm. I was able to set up an API endpoint for the monolithic system to retrieve the data it needs very easily. So all in all, it's just been easy to get something up and running.
And it's making sense, like the flow and where things go makes sense when you're coding?
Yes and no. I mean, I'm still suffering from trying to do things perfectly. You know, working with a bunch of people that have an eye for, that should be a service or a provider, or you should split this up into multiple services. You know, just I get stuck in that mindset of I'm not doing this perfectly. Mm-hmm. So then I end up down this rabbit hole of what do I have to change? What am I missing? Trying to dependency inject every possible thing I can, and just sometimes it gets a little numbing. So I just get stuck.
Right.
I must have gone through like 3 or 4 iterations of this code before I finally settled on something that seems to be working. And then on top of that, the code I'm replacing is like code written 12 years ago. Mm-hmm. And it's a single script and just very, not necessarily hard to read, but there's logic in there that I kept getting lost on. And I think it's because it used to do more things and then some code was taken out. So at one point it moves file 1 to file 2, then file 2 to file 3, and then back to file 1. It's just like, what's happening? Why is this doing this? And the variable names were so bad that it just made it hard for me to follow the logic sometimes or remember all the steps. I really needed to. I whiteboarded it in the office over there. It's like, okay, I need to do this, and this, and that's it. Stop overthinking everything else.
Right.
Hey, don't cheat off my work.
I liked having you consult with me for all the Laravel issues you've been having.
No problem. Thanks for all your help. I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's literally 0 times.
I thought you were making fun of the fact that every time he asked me, I would tell him to stop bothering me and figure it out on his own.
No, it's more about the fact that I've made it clear that I'm very lonely in Colorado, and I know exactly what he's going through and can help him, but he still doesn't call me.
Well, I feel like a complete idiot because, like, the one time he asked me to help, I realized he was asking for my help. I sat there with him. And he's like, yeah, I'm trying to do this, and I'm trying to move a file, and the file's not there. I'm like, all right, let me look at your code. I look at his code, I'm like, yeah, no, that's right, it should be working.
Well, what was really pissing me off was it worked locally. I had it running on Docker on my local machine. Everything was writing to the file system correctly. But I moved it to a Docker instance in Amazon, and it wasn't working, and just was driving me mad. So
you decided to drive me mad too, because I'm like looking at it, I'm like, there's nothing wrong with that code. It 100% should be working. And of course, we start going down the completely wrong rabbit hole. He's like, maybe it has something to do with the Docker instance. I'm like, no, Laravel doesn't know it's on a Docker instance. It's just talking to its file system. And I was going crazy.
It was really frustrating to the point where later that night I just forced a new deployment, so it would kick off a new Docker instance and start working, and I was very confused, only to find out that the person that set up the environment set up 2 hosts, and it wasn't on NFS yet. So basically, my post was going to an API on server 2. I was only looking on server 1 because I didn't know he had multiple instances up and running. So we spent a lot of time debugging nothing, basically.
So it was working. I mean, that was we were just looking in the wrong spot.
Right. And then the fact that I said, no, a new deployment fixed it, and you looked at me like I was crazy, and then the more I thought about it, I'm like, no, I am crazy because that shouldn't be the case. It was the same code. And then all of a sudden it hit me, oh yeah, there were multiple instances running.
Yeah, but I mean, isn't that the test of a developer, is to, on a regular basis, say, no, this should be working, why isn't it working? Or,
pretty much,
this shouldn't be working, why is it working?
I do that one way more often.
We had a bunch of issues today. Our production server, when we push out to it, it does a cache flush, and we have to deal with cache a lot because we have millions of hits a day, like unique hits, or maybe hundreds of millions. I don't even know at this point. And the cache wasn't flushing on our staging server, so we would push out these massive changes, and then the staging server would only change half of the stuff, and our QA people would just keep asking us, like, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? Why can't you do your jobs? So, oh, sorry, cache didn't get flushed, and yeah, it's... And now I'm prepping for tomorrow, because tomorrow is my big last day for the year. I'm going on vacation till the 2nd.
Oh, nice.
And but they have a thing that they want done for, like, next week. So I just have to do it tomorrow. Like, at whatever personal cost it ends up taking. So.
Looking forward to that, are you?
Yeah, really excited.
So what was the reason that the cache wasn't flushing? Did you find a culprit, or was it
just because we don't have the command in our deployment script to flush cache for staging, only for production. So just an oversight. Yeah. So instead of fixing the oversight, I just manually flushed the cache 30 times today.
How hard is it to update your deployment script?
It's harder than flushing the cache 30 times.
Killing me. Can't be that hard, can it?
I don't know. I didn't even look. I have a special page in the admin for flushing the cache, and it was the cache key was just www. So it was literally 3 keystrokes, and then the job was done. I wasn't going to make my life harder by trying to find where the deployment script was supposed to flush the cache, and it was missing that key. That's someone else's problem this week.
Wow. Killing me. I still can't understand why you can't compare. Here's my production deployment steps, and here's my staging deployment steps, and figure out where it's different and fix it.
Because my staging server does like a full artisan install with migration and seed, and it doesn't have to deal with the stuff that the production server, which is like deploying to 10 different server clusters with a supervisor and blah, blah, blah. So comparing the two is not optional, because it's a whole web interface that we have to go through that has individual commands spec'd out as stages of the deployment.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Cool. Who else has worked on anything? Thomas, you anything else fun this week? Any coding stuff?
No, it's the holidays.
I built shelves. That's what I did this week. I built shelves in our office. They
look really good too.
I don't code anymore. I build things apparently. Thank you, John.
That's how I felt last week. It was a lot of like putting desks together or putting in a new door lock. It just seemed like so much stuff to be done.
Yeah.
Is it a cool door lock?
It is. It's a fingerprint scanner.
Yeah, I knew it. I knew it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And what's really cool is, all the developers now, they can come and go. We don't have to be here We don't have to unlock the door. We're still trying to figure out deliveries. Like UPS and FedEx, they won't drop stuff off. They did the first day, and then they wouldn't drop stuff off anymore. They kept saying, "Hey, your door was locked. Nobody was there, so we left."
Well, you're supposed to wear clothes when you answer the door. So that's probably reason one I'd look into.
But it's the office is coming along nicely. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying coming in. So yeah,
we've been having like 2 to 3 developers there almost every day. And it's just nice sharing the space and be able to talk through problems, face to face.
Yeah, that was kind of.
I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would.
Yeah, it's weird. It's after working remote for so long and having such a workflow around not being around anybody, but having to Skype with people and Slack with people, and now having people physically in the same space again. There are benefits. You've always known that. There's always benefits with people physically being located together, and benefits to remote work as well. So I think we found a nice little medium where, people can come in if they want. We have a space for people to come in if they want. If they want to work remote, they can work remote.
I just realized a new problem with this format. Before on Hangouts, if I wasn't talking, people didn't look at me. Now you got it where all 3 of us are up all the time.
Here. I'll make it so it's only you. There.
Thanks.
So now
appreciate that.
For the rest of the podcast, it's only going to be John.
Thank you. Thank you.
I've been distinctly aware of that new problem from the moment this podcast started.
Yes. Yeah, that is.
Oops.
Oh, wow, that was painful.
Make sure you knock everything over.
Sorry. I barely tapped the desk that time.
Yeah, I do wish that you could set this up to automatically rotate between scenes, but that is not an option. At least not an option I found. I'm still learning the software, so I don't know. Maybe it is. I got this, though. I'm flipping. Boom, boom.
Well, now we just got to figure out your audio lag, because that's turning out to be a big problem.
Yeah, I saw somebody mention in Discord. It's way bad for me right now. Like I'm major out of sync right now.
Mm-hmm.
You just synced up for me.
Really?
There. I'm just gonna keep the Patreon page up for a little while. Let's see if that syncs it.
Maybe that was it, because you are synced right now.
Yeah,
so
you're perfectly synced right now.
Around.
Oh, really?
Just keep hitting buttons. Touch all the buttons.
That's funny because I was way out of sync on my end. So yeah,
are you still there?
Well, I just have the Patreon page up right now. These are all our lovely Patreons for anybody interested.
You're looking over on that. I thought you were talking about on the Skype window. You're out of sync.
Oh, I'm not even looking at the Skype window. Yeah, that Skype window is gone for me right now. But
yeah, I think we should pivot to a podcast production company from here, because clearly we're experts.
Yeah, no, we got this, man. We're 100% on it here. Look, I can even run commercials. See, this is the other thing I don't like. I wish there was a way that I could share what I see with you guys. So when I do things, you guys see when I'm doing it. Like right now, I'm sharing a mission control banner commercial for us. So I don't know how long the stream takes to catch up to that, but
I see it.
You see it now? Yeah, see, I got a little mission control there. Not like they can click on it or anything, but it's cool.
Well, if you're going to do that, we need to get the URL under there.
Oh yeah. I wonder if I can add. I bet you I can add that live. Watch, I'll do it live. Let me see. Watch.
Or you can just say it 3 times like you normally do. Get missioncontrol.io.
Now, if If we're going to continue with this format, though, I clearly need a better camera and a makeup crew.
and lighting, like ring lights right there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we definitely need that. I meant to tell you that, John. We need to get ring lights. Yeah. Yeah.
You're taking this way too far.
There you go. I got the URL up. I assume that'll show up at some point.
We started getting that sweet Patreon money, and he took it to the next degree.
I have not used any Patreon money for anything you've seen. This has all been DiegoDev money, which doesn't make John feel any better, but yeah.
Wow, there goes my audio.
What do you mean?
There goes your audio.
You guys are doing the super skippy audio thing again.
What?
Anyways.
Fun stuff.
That's what you get for trying to run Skype on Linux, bastard.
You told me to run Skype on Linux.
I don't think that's what does the whole camera thing, man. What am I supposed to do here? Look, I got 3 individual cameras. You think that's easy to do? Look at that. Boom, boom, boom. I don't know what to tell you, man.
We're not supposed to be watching.
This is
all right. We're talking way too much. This episode is going way downhill.
This is horrible.
I'm sorry to the listeners.
The best part is we can't tell how long we've been running either.
Oh, I can. You just have to listen to some key clicks. Oh, no, I can't. I had to turn it off. That's right.
I think that's it. I think we're wrapping up, right? That felt about an hour. Felt like it was about an hour.
This is going to blow your mind. It's been 18 minutes.
What?
You looking at the YouTube?
Yeah. You guys don't have anything to talk about here, programming or tech or computer wise. I've just loaded up on doom and gloom this week.
What are you talking about? We talked about Laravel. We talked about
doom and gloom for you right there.
Issues.
We haven't talked about 7.3.
What about 7.3?
Have you seen 7.3 with opcache enabled is really disagreeing with Laravel.
We already knew that by our wonderful people in Discord. Were you part of that conversation?
I guess.
Guess
not. There in Discord. Wow, I can barely listen to you guys.
A lot of people who listen to our podcast say that. Believe it or not.
Yeah, 7.3. There's a new RC, as Gishu just said. There's a new release candidate for 7.3.1, but I didn't see anything addressing specifically the bug that Taylor reported and that a lot of people have experienced with the mailable interface just crashing.
Taylor? Are we supposed to know who Taylor is?
Taylor Otwell. The Taylor Otwell.
Of Laravel fame. Okay. He reported a bug?
Yeah, he did report an official bug to the PHP internals.
So what was happening? What was it causing?
It thought that the mailable class was a container class and failed on some kind of opcache optimization for it, but it still isn't clear why.
But if it was just an opcache thing, that it still worked. The code worked, but it just didn't cache it.
If you had opcache enabled, then it would crash. It would fatal error on anything using instantiating a mailable interface. If you disabled opcache, it would work correctly, and Taylor pushed out a new version of Laravel that has a fix to circumvent the bug, but it's still not a Laravel bug. It's just a Laravel fix for a PHP bug.
Interesting. I wonder how. I'd have to look at that. I want to see what he did to get around it.
Return in the mailable interface was enough to circumvent the bug.
Huh.
So his fix, I believe, was more than just a carriage return. I think it was something that checks and verifies that it's operating correctly. But yeah, one fix I saw was editing the mailable interface and adding a carriage return to a specific line, and that fixed it. So make of that what you will.
Eric, why are you sharing a PGP signature?
I'm sharing the article Gishu posted in Discord.
Sharing to what? I don't see what you're sharing.
Oh, it's on YouTube. Sorry.
And look, I'm in a little circle down here in the corner. Where am I at? Well, I gotta face this way to look at the article. What? I mean,
best show yet.
You gotta enjoy it. Shit. Why not enjoy it?
Oh, this is one horrendous episode.
You guys still on Facebook?
Sort of.
Fair.
A little bit.
I announced to my wife that I was probably going to delete Facebook this weekend.
What do you plan to accomplish from that?
Getting out of the radar of the advertising mega corpse.
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
Yeah. I don't know. First thing, I don't think you can, right? I mean, I just
following us everywhere.
So yeah, somebody's going to be following, yeah. But yeah, like we were talking about this last week, Thomas. I dropped off Facebook just because I'm a horrible Facebooker and I didn't use it, and I really fell out of contact with some family and friends who, quite frankly, I mean, the only way I stay in touch with them is through Facebook. The only reason I know what's going on in their life is through the posts that they make on Facebook. And it's just, I don't know. I realized how out of sync I had gotten with some key family members and some friends who I consider close friends, but who are physically located like the other side of the country. I don't hang out with them on the weekend. We don't talk on the phone. I mean, that's how I kept up with what was going on. I know another good friend of mine is, on his third job interview now, of a company that he's really hoping to get a position at. And the only reason I know that's because he's posting it on Facebook, and I don't know. I mean, good luck with it. I'm not gonna say you're a caveman for doing it or anything, but I was just surprised how much of an impact it had on me. And even still today, I mean, I have to think to log into Facebook to kind of see what everybody's doing at least, once a week. I still don't post. I told myself I would post once a week, I had for years had very much had a delineator in Facebook of I'm not going to post my geek stuff in Facebook or anything I'm doing professionally in Facebook. My Facebook is just for my friends and family. And I recently started doing that. I posted the new office, but like a lot of people on Facebook didn't know that I owned my own business with John. And, they just assumed that I was still working for somebody and doing, whatever. But, I posted a little thing saying, hey, just kind of giving everybody an update. The business I started however many years ago now, we just got another office, but even that I don't do.
Yeah, I'm just every day there's some new horrendous story about Facebook, and it became clear to me that all of the pomp and circumstance that Facebook puts into its security stuff is just completely false. They do not care. The big story today was
do not care about what though?
The users. They care about engagement. They care about
right. I think they do care. I think they do care about their users, but I don't think they care. Like they don't care about your personal well-being, sort of say, but they care that you have a good experience on Facebook.
They care that you continue to provide them with information. They don't care if you enjoy it, because, I mean, if they could find some negative system that created more information, they would take advantage of it. They don't care about that. What they care about is keeping users engaged and producing data. The big story today, this week, was Facebook allowing access to all private messaging and profile information to Netflix and other corporations.
What? Where, you got a link for this?
Yeah, I do.
Which one?
Right.
Give it to me. Lay it on me. Let me see the article. Oh, jeez. You snuck that in. How am I supposed to prepare this stuff if
you're not? No, I have to keep you on your toes. Yeah, there was a large cache of documents that were internal to Facebook that got published, and it revealed that several third parties had direct access to private messages and other confidential information, or presumably confidential information. Last week we were talking about Facebook tracking your location data even if you asked it not to. The week before that, Zuckerberg said he wasn't going to go in front of a panel in England because fuck you. That was literally it. You know, this security vulnerabilities, Cambridge Analytica, which is one example of a system that they put in place that was exploited. The popular example, but they just haven't told us what other companies did the same thing. You know, and then seeing how frequently, I mean, my wife came up to me this week and said, I looked up a gift basket for my friends for Christmas on my work computer, and then I got an ad for it on my phone from Facebook. and I was like, yeah, of course you did.
Yeah.
And she's like, no, but I was on Amazon. I'm like, yeah. Duh. Like, Amazon and Facebook, best buds. They're data aggregators and processors. That's what they do. Amazon gave that data to Facebook so that they could advertise to you on Facebook and Instagram and every other platform that they maybe don't own or maybe do. It's like, I'm so sick of the casual way that all our data is being collected now in the last 2 years.
Okay, but again, I mean, yeah, I understand you getting up in a soapbox and you want to go live in a cabin in the woods and stuff, but I'm not sure what you're going to accomplish.
I just don't want assholes running it. So
well,
that's
not going to change. This show is not going to be about that, though. I mean, what's the thing? I mean, I'll give you one more thing, but yeah, you can rant about this for the next hour.
Yes, I can.
I know you can. I'll give you one last thing. What's your last thing? Go ahead. I'll even put the spotlight on you.
So a group tried to figure out what Facebook's market cap was. Actual functional market cap. And to do this, they had to figure out what each user was worth. And so they proposed to users, how much would I have to pay you to quit Facebook? So what is Facebook worth to you to not have for free, for quote-unquote free? And they came to roughly $250 per user.
Okay.
Which puts Facebook's market cap at $542 billion. But the thing about market caps is that That's the maximum value it can hold. And every time a user leaves Facebook, the whole market cap goes down by a percentage because the one user leaving affects the value to all other users.
Okay.
So,
all right,
so that's my point.
Is that your last point?
That's my point is that you might not make a big impact by leaving Facebook, but a lot of people leaving Facebook does make a big impact.
Yeah, I just don't see that happening. So, good luck.
No,
I know, that's because it's one of my ideas. You don't see my ideas happening.
All right.
I just don't see people leaving the comfort of being able to communicate with friends and family in an easy way where I can just put crap out there. And if
Sure, but no one saw that happening to MySpace either.
Yeah.
And MySpace imploded in, 3 months?
Yeah, but why did it implode?
Because a better solution came along.
Right. Exactly. So, yeah, will Facebook implode? Yeah. When the next Facebook comes along, maybe, but...
So I'm announcing my new project, Buskbook.
And let's be honest. I mean, how many... Your privacy comes first. We're going to be like Facebook, but respect your privacy projects have there been out there that have fallen flat on their face.
I don't know. I've never seen any.
Yeah.
You've never seen any, or you've never seen any that did a good job?
I've literally never seen any.
You're out of your mind. Yeah, there's been a ton of them.
I know they're out there. I'm not saying that they're not out there. I'm just saying no one has ever said, I'm on this, you should join me here. And so that's the problem. Is that, yes, a billion of these stupid things exist, but they're not making money because they don't have users. They don't have users because they don't have users.
Well, and the thing is, they won't make money if they respect your privacy as well, right?
They won't make as much money, but they'll still make money.
No,
people have to settle for getting what they'll get.
That's not how it works.
They're not going to get users if they just see it as a Facebook-like platform because all of their friends are already on Facebook.
Right.
Sure.
So they're not going to... You can't drag everyone over because it's not going to have that cascading effect.
But that's not true for teenagers. Teenagers are not on Facebook like adults are.
Which is a good thing.
That's true, yeah. Well, not really, because the alternative's not that great either. They're on Snapchat and crap like that. Okay, but are you ready to be jealous, Thomas? I'm gonna need you to work with me here. You're gonna need to look at the stream. How far behind is our stream? I think it's pretty far behind. Speaking of Facebook, I told you I have a friend at Facebook, and he called me up and he says, "Hey," he says, "Are you still into PHP? Is PHP still something that interests you?" I'm like, "Yeah, it is." Kind of built a business
a little
around it.
occasionally.
Kind of, and I told him, like, I run a user group down here. My whole company is built around PHP development. Blah blah blah. He's like, "Hey, I got these PHP HHVM elephants on my desk. I don't know what to do with it. Would you be interested in one of these?" I'm like, "Wait a minute. You're talking about the HHVM elephant, like the stuffed elephant, the plushie?" He's like, yeah. He's like, "It's kind of cool." He's like, "But I just don't know what to do with it." I'm like, "Hell yeah, I'll take that." He actually sent it to me. So eventually, hopefully the stream catches up, and I'm showing it to you here.
Why does that look like a Pittsburgh Steelers elephant?
Pittsburgh Steelers elephant? I don't know.
Because it's black and gold. It's about 8 seconds behind. And you couldn't say, "Hey, can I have a couple of them?"
Well, he said he only had like one or two on his desk. I forget what he said, but he's like, "Do you want it?" Like, I don't know if they just have these things laying around. I should ask him. I'm like, "Hey, can I get a few of these? Is this something that you guys can just? Do you have like a little Facebook store you can buy these?" It's HHVM though. I mean, is that even a thing anymore? Man, that's cool.
That's still a thing.
But my
What are you
wife's like,
talking about?
my wife is like, "Hey, he's missing an eye." I'm like, "No, he's like part cyborg.
He's a cyborg elephant.
He's not missing an eye. It's a robot eye. So, yeah, I thought you'd like that.
He's not acting jealous. I thought he'd be way more jealous.
I was hoping. He's too busy raging about Facebook to...
Why would I be jealous when I have this?
Oh, we have those too.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, we have those too. He sells those now. You can just buy them. It's not as special as it was, where you only got it if you won it.
Yeah, I didn't have to buy this one. I had to
see. Eric needs a
system.
Eric needs to turn his camera over to the shelves he installed, and you'll see a whole row of elephants on the top shelf.
We have ourselves quite the herd. Is
that your echo reduction system?
The herd? That's what it should have.
A wall of elephants.
Lined them up on my monitor here, so that would have been a good idea. No, that's not what I thought of.
I think it's hilarious that Eric left his house to drive to the office to record tonight.
That's how much I care.
Well, and if you listen to last week's episode, you'll know why that's a problem.
I heard.
Okay, yeah, John. We have beer here, by the way. We have beer in our fridge, but yeah, I'm drinking tea tonight. So
point being, what was the point in the beer in the fridge comment?
Well, that's one of the problems, is because I'm at the office, I can't get hammered on the podcast anymore because I have to drive home. I told him that we're getting a couch delivered here at some point, and I can just sleep on the couch. I'll be fine.
That sleeping bag works just fine.
He's turning the office into his escape plan. What happens? That's his doghouse. He literally has a dog bed in the front of the office, which I still don't understand why there's a dog bed in an office that doesn't allow dogs in the office.
Yeah, the guys came in, they looked at the dog bed, they're like, so I guess you won that one. I'm like, it wasn't a competition.
Yeah. It's purely decorative. It's a Louis Vuitton dog bed.
He was supposed to come with me, right?
The problem is, when dogs are in there, the front door is just going to somehow end up open.
Nope. No. Yeah.
Just saying. Things happen. I'm deathly afraid of dogs.
You are not afraid of dogs. You stop it.
So,
you had a dog. You had one of the meanest dogs I knew. With little booger trying to bite me. Kidding me?
It's because he was well trained. Like yours that just wants to jump up and lick you.
He just wants to ram his head into your crotch. Pet me!
Speaking of that, oh my gosh, I went to pick Grayson up today, and he jumped, and his leg flew back. Wow. That hurt. Wow, that hurts so bad.
I guess it made contact?
Yeah. And then I put him down quickly and almost fell to my knees ow. And Jackie's like, John, don't have such a reaction, because Grayson immediately was concerned about me. Oh no, what happened? And I'm like, I'm okay, buddy, I'm okay.
Don't worry, there were no babies coming out of there anyways.
Why not have such a reaction? That shit hurts, man. God.
I know, but I guess she saw his face just kind of drop with concern, and didn't want him being overly stressed or concerned about it.
Women fundamentally can't understand a good smack to the testicles.
She did try. When I was in pain, she did try to explain Daddy's okay, but when boys get hit in the testicles, it can hurt really, really bad.
Can hurt, yeah.
Does hurt. Not can. Not there's a 50-50 chance it might hurt. No, it hurts every time.
Yeah. It only hurts if you hit the sweet spot.
I was saying, it doesn't even matter the degree of pressure. It's sometimes it's the slightest brush will bring you down.
I've told you guys before, I was one day I was walking down the street with my wife, and she just goes boop for no reason, and puts me straight down on the sidewalk.
It starts laughing and pointing at you.
No, she was immediately. I started laughing because I knew she had no idea why she did it. She just did it. And so I started laughing. She was really concerned because my legs went out from under me. I mean, I crumpled. So she was concerned. And I had to explain to her, like, no, it's okay. We've been together at this point for 7 years, so I should have seen it coming.
It was bound to happen eventually. I'm surprised it took so long.
Stupid me walking down the street. Should have known better.
Wow.
Oh, man. All right.
I mean, for as boring as I am, my wife is the offset. She sets the opposite direction in as being an interesting person. So that's the kind of thing I kind of have to get used to. Is just total chaos. It works. Although I've vacation next week. I rarely take vacation from work, but my kids are going out of town to be with their biological dad, so I took the whole week off.
You're the weirdest individual I know of, man. You really are.
Yeah.
Hey, what are your plans for the week?
Probably do some work.
That makes perfect sense.
I don't know. I mean, we like drinking. That's kind of our Christmas present to ourselves, is just not having kids. So anything on top of that's just, frosting.
All right, Thomas, did you actually read this Let's Encrypt stuff? Because I'm looking at it. It looks pretty damn interesting.
Yeah. Explosive growth.
Wow, look at that.
I don't know what
incredible.
happened June 10th, but June 10th just skyrocketed.
Is it available in AWS now? Do they provide Let's Encrypt certificates?
I don't know if they're Let's Encrypt certificates, but they provide certificates now. That's a good question. I don't know if they're Let's Encrypt, but like on your load balancer and stuff, you can do. You have to do a load balancer. It's not on the server. The server you've got to do it yourself. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they do provide certificates, free certificates in AWS now.
Be interesting to see if they started offering those on June 10th.
Wow, that growth from January 2016 to now is just insane. Wow, that's just insane. That's a good thing, though. More and more pages. HTTPS.
I really dig that. Almost everything I go to now is encrypted.
Yeah.
Which, that's good. Of course, I don't know what the endpoint's doing with my data, but at least it's encrypted to the endpoint.
Go back up to the top graph.
Yeah.
No, you gotta wait the 8 seconds. Fully qualified domains active versus certificates active. Maybe that big jump is when they allowed wildcard certificates or multiple domains per certificate.
Maybe. I wonder if that's what that was. Wildcard certs. It doesn't give you any information on why that jump went like that.
See, if only Pornhub did analytics for everybody, we would know exactly why.
They do some of the best analytics, don't they?
They really do. And they're fast about it, too.
Yeah.
What did they share recently?
Recently they shared their breakdown of preferences by state, by political alignment.
Oh, wow.
And it turns out that there's just a touch of hypocrisy on one end of the spectrum.
All right.
How do they get your political preferences, though.
They go by the state's political preference.
Oh, okay. So it's not necessarily the user. It's not the user.
No, okay. Well, I'm not going to rule it out. I'm not going to say, oh, of course they're not collecting your data. Who would do that? I have seen studies that did connect voter records with the actual person who voted through quote-unquote anonymous data that was being collected.
What?
Yeah. So that's a thing that happens in some states. But they're not doing that. They're just doing voting record by state versus most important search term.
So basically, if you're in California, you're basically liberal, and if you're in Kansas, you're conservative.
Yes. And you want to see someone else entertain your wife for you. It's weird. Man. I mean, it's their word. They can use it.
You got anything else of interest? I kind of want to talk about that Guardian, but I didn't finish reading that Guardian post.
Never stopped me.
It never stopped you?
No.
So the Guardian, they've moved from MongoDB, which is a NoSQL solution, over to Postgres. And I have a lot of interest in this because, we've been toying around a lot with the idea of leveraging MongoDB a little bit more, or not MongoDB. Well, MongoDB was one of the solutions, but leveraging NoSQL solutions for some of the stuff we're working on. And I saw this. This is probably one of the first times I saw a big group like this that moved away from a NoSQL solution to a traditional relational database. And the thing that allowed them to do it, yeah? Somebody want to say something?
I was gonna say you often see it the other way around, going from relational to NoSQL.
Right, exactly. The thing that allowed them to do this is actually something that we've been taking advantage of with MySQL, was the fact that Postgres has a JSON data type, and a JSON B data type to be exact. And I guess they just started moving all their NoSQL stuff over to this, and it made the transition a little smoother. The reason for the move wasn't necessarily anything like performance or anything like that. It all came from what I've read in the article so far. And like I said, I'm about halfway through the article, but it really centered around the fact of management. And I've been talking for a little while about how important ops is, having dedicated operation people are to a company. Well, I mean, that can even be even more granular with databases, right? And with databases, you can actually have groups, and as a matter of fact, most enterprises do, have fairly large groups that are dedicated to database management. And the problem they were having is Mongo, there was no out-of-the-box service solution that they could take advantage of. And so it was costing them to manage these Mongo databases. So they moved to Postgres, but they moved to Postgres on AWS. AWS offers Postgres as a service, as one of their RDS services, which we use for our largest client, or one of our largest clients. We actually have two fairly large clients. One of our largest clients uses RDS, but the MySQL brand. Actually, they use MySQL and Postgres. And the only reason we're able to manage such a large database infrastructure is because we don't have to worry about the more granular day-to-day taking care of the database. Amazon does that as part of their service. So I guess they had kind of a similar experience where, they were spending too much time creating workflows around MongoDB and trying to manage their MongoDB environment that they realized that it was just costing them a lot of money, and they just moved over to Postgres. But they still kind of using, and I'll stress again, I haven't gotten through the entire article yet. It'll be in the show notes if you're interested. It was actually reported by The Guardian. But they're still kind of using the same philosophy of NoSQL, where everything is in this JSON column type. It's just they're doing it in a relational database. And we've been taking kind of a similar approach where, like, if we interact with a service, we have a couple of services we interact with. We extract the data that we think we need today, and we may put it in columns. So, we may ask the service, hey, give us information on this particular thing. It gives us a response, usually a JSON response. We'll extract the data we want and maybe store it in the database. But we typically now, as part of our architecture, will have a JSON column type that says, okay, whatever that payload was that they sent us back, just hold on to that entire payload. Because in the future, if we decided there's some more information in there we want, or maybe we don't necessarily need it for every call, but we want to be able to go back and find it, we have all that data now. And we don't have to create columns for every piece of data that comes back to us. So it's kind of cool. I'm looking to take more and more advantage of that, and I still find myself wondering, it's like, am I ever going to need a actual NoSQL database, or will that always be able? Will I always be able to use that the same way?
What I'd love to know, is there a conclusion in the article on performance? Was there a performance hit or anything like that?
Yeah.
To me, that doesn't matter because everything scales horizontally now. I mean, they're talking about AWS, so I don't care about performance, I care about AWS costs.
And RDS RDS is definitely one of the more expensive services they offer. That's for sure.
Right. So that performance isn't my concern. My concern is, what did their bill come out to?
we have a client that wants to use RDS, but and just has a bunch of EC2 instances running MySQL or MySQL. Sorry.
Yeah, that seems like a nightmare to me.
Now, I have to say that to turn this to the PHP Ugly side of things, most of their complaints in this article appear to be about support from Mongo,
right,
versus support from Postgres. Is that they cannot get what's the word for it? Enterprise level support. And because they were unable to get the enterprise quality support that they required, they went to a different product that did have.
What shocks me with these open source projects, if you need to realize that's how you make money, providing support.
Well, I think that the people who make money off of Mongo provide support as employees, not as supporters, as call centers, versus Postgres, which I believe has a call center.
Yeah.
So, just to turn it in the PHP Ugly direction there, we had a lively discussion of enterprise support in the Discord channel. I'm not sure if you guys caught that.
Oh, no, I totally missed that.
Oh, yes. It ended up on our show questions. Ryan CCO discussing scalability of some frameworks and why queuing was not the best it could be. So I encourage everybody, check out the Discord link in the upper left corner of your screen.
Yeah. Other way. And to bring it back to Let's Encrypt, somebody, maybe it was on Twitter. I think it was on Twitter. Might have been Ted Nugent. Somebody on Twitter had asked about Let's Encrypt, and they were using Cloudflare for their encryption. What is your opinion of that? Where you have Let's Encrypt up until like a proxy. I mean, not Let's Encrypt. You have HTTPS up into a proxy, and then that proxy, is not encrypted after, to your server.
That's fine.
You think that's fine? Why is that?
For me, HTTPS encryption handles the airport problem, where you connect to the first open Wi-Fi signal you find. If it worked for Wi-Fi, HTTPS wouldn't be the issue it is today. That's just how it is. Mm-hmm. We didn't worry about encryption of web traffic until Ethernet was no longer the standard in the home. Mm-hmm. But now, with the explosion of mobile devices that only have an option for Wi-Fi connection, and most of them automatically connect to the first open Wi-Fi network they see, yeah, you gotta have it now. You gotta stop the man-in-the-middle attack. I mean, it's really just stopping one specific attack. Beyond that, if you care about security, you've got a VPN, or you've got something else. There's a network-level monitoring thing like Wireshark, but designed for end users. Windows comes with a firewall built in that's just designed for handling local network traffic.
But theoretically, there could still be a man-in-the-middle attack between Cloudflare and your servers at Amazon.
Right, it's just a little bit more difficult.
Well, yeah, that's a government-sponsored attack, and they're gonna win either way.
Not necessarily. I think a lot of it...
It could be a rogue network person that works at Amazon.
Well, he's still going to win. He's on their network.
And again, I think what it is you're trying to protect is important. Like, if you have credit card information going across the wire, then you're responsible to have end-to-end encryption, right? I mean, that's just the way it is. But if you're just like the PHP Ugly website... Having your HTTPS terminate at something like a Cloudflare, is that what it's called, Cloudflare?
Yeah,
Cloudflare or the load balancers.
Right, having your HTTPS terminate there and then it being non-encrypted I don't see that as a big problem at all. Personally, yeah.
No, the big problem, like I keep saying, is the person you're giving the data to at the endpoint. Are they trustworthy? No, Mark Zuckerberg is not.
You got a bug up your ass about Facebook tonight, don't you? Holy smokes.
It's all of them. If you look at the last 2 years...
They sent us this really cool elephant. Where's he at? I'm going to put him right there.
Yeah. I ain't running my code on hack. If you look at the last 2 years and the way things have progressed, it's the Equifax hack, which gave anyone who wants to buy it anyone's social security number. Facebook, Google+, hundreds and hundreds of others. I mean, I have a list somewhere of the hacks that occurred this week, and it's in the millions and millions of records. And that's just the hacks. That's the people who, like, I actually kind of don't care what they do with my data because I can recoup my losses. My problem is when I say I'm interested in houseboats, to go back to episode 120, all of a sudden I'm getting ads for houseboats. And to me, that's kind of fucked up. Private conversations just don't really exist anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I do encourage you to delete the app from your phone. I haven't had it on mine for a long time. If I'm going to access Facebook, I do it directly.
Boy, I'd sure love to. Let's do it now, live on camera. Oh.
Does Samsung not let you delete the Facebook app?
Yeah, sure, it's a fact.
Sure it does.
Factory app. Option is to disable, not to uninstall.
What?
I cannot remove Facebook from my phone.
It's a virus.
It is.
Get out of that Samsung world.
Yeah.
Get a Pixel 3.
Pixel 3 lets you remove it. I don't even know if it's on my Pixel 3. Oh yeah, it is.
It's not on by default.
It's on mine. It's on mine. Yeah.
So I'm bringing it back to coding.
Hold on, because we're still on my topic, kind of. For example,
oh God! Wait a minute! You can't say "hold on." We're still on my topic.
No, because we are. An example of my issue with the pervasiveness of this kind of data tracking is that a guy who updated his toothbrush's firmware was notified that it now wanted his location data.
Oh, we just had that. John,
it's a toothbrush.
Do you want to share, John?
Eric bought coffee mugs for the office that are Bluetooth enabled to your phone. That as soon as we upgraded, or as soon as we installed it, it had a firmware update, and the software for some reason wants your location and would not update without it.
I poured coffee in there, and the coffee started spilling out, and it said, "Hey, there's a firmware update." I'm like, "Oh, I guess you got to update the mug." That was a joke. It's a physical mug. Of course, the coffee didn't pour out.
Oh no, of course, because that technology doesn't quite exist yet.
But yeah, John's like, why does it have to know my location to install the app? And the app, so it's a cool mug. It's right here. It's a cool mug. It sits here, and with your phone, you can set the temperature of the mug, and when there's liquid in there, it makes the liquid that temperature, so your coffee's always hot.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's really nice.
And knows where you are.
And apparently it's important that it knows where you're at too. Yeah. It wants to know.
And if you think that you can opt out of this kind of firmware update, members of AAA who received the monthly magazine recently received an email that, after opening it, stated, "By opening this email, you are automatically enrolled and will no longer receive the printed version of our member publication."
Okay, John. John wanted to bring it back to coding. We're running out of time. Let's let him bring it back to coding.
You've got the doom and gloom title to put up on screen, but I'm too good for you. I'm too good for that. I sneak it in under the wire. There's no time for you to put it up on the screen.
It was up several times when you were talking.
It's been up quite a bit.
I keep popping
I was told not to look.
Don't look.
You need an end card. This has been Doom and Gloom from Thomas Rideout.
No, because you don't end. That's the problem. An end card
even after we end the show, you're still going with it. What are you talking about?
I have good news.
Well, John had stuff. What's your good news?
I'm sorry. I'm not used to him being here.
I can leave. I have no problem with that. I'm exhausted. I'll go sleep. For sure.
Go ahead.
I wanted to bring up that we are traveling down the road of event sourcing on one of our projects.
We are.
And it's new to all of us. And we're consuming as much information as we can, and it seems like information overload at times. So I'm looking for people that have any experience that want to throw advice my way. I'll take it. We are looking at using Kafka possibly as our event store, and we're just starting to write producers and consumers to figure out how to intertwine this into the application that we are writing. And it's been fun. It's been interesting talking with the team about how we think it should work and all the brainstorming. It's been very interesting. Well, that brought that to a halt. Sorry.
No, I'm totally on board. I'm super excited about this. And
Doom and Gloom ruins the show.
I think the team was initially. Well, I think the team was initially very nervous about this direction, but the more research we're doing, the more they're starting to embrace it. It's going to be. I'm really looking forward to actually getting some code up and getting some functionality going. I mean, we basically had a client that just essentially dictated this has to happen. Like, this is
Well,
how
once
this
we
application.
explained what it was, then it became dictated that way.
Yeah, and rightfully so.
We think we're going to go down this road. Nope, you're going down that road.
Yeah, that's what I want. I want that, exactly that. Do that. But we're not sure. No, that's what I want.
We're having a brainstorming session today, and I kept saying, let's just focus on this piece. And the person I was talking to kept going back and like trying to add on, well, what about from over here and over there and this and that? I'm like, let's start here. Let's figure this piece out first, and then we'll figure that out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Marcus, didn't mean to throw you under the bus there.
Hey, I'm curious about the event sourcing stuff, but I'm in an embedded environment. We're done with new tech, kind of.
Okay.
So I don't get the chance to use it.
I thought you guys are the new tech industry, though. Everything new you guys do first.
That's something I'm working on privately, but we're not really breaking down barriers.
I think it might be one of those things you could retrofit into the application. The big thing that I like about it is you never lose data, and you have data that you didn't know you might need at some point in the future.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm totally on board with that. That's like the reason I like it so much. Because it is just a data dump. It is just the feed of everything that happens ever. But then you get into the reporting problem. I mean, just writing a report for information you're intentionally gathering is difficult. How do you write a report for something?
It makes it easier. Once you have your stream of data, you may not be thinking of a report you need. You can write a consumer that consumes all the events and basically writes a completely different database that makes it super easy to consume or create the reports you need.
How long does a new consumer on 1 billion records take?
I don't know.
Because that's our issue, is that if we were to do that successfully, we would have to have additional servers in a cluster to handle the volume of data we have. Because the volume we have is ungodly.
Yeah, I think that's part of the idea.
Of big data.
Yeah.
And some things I've heard from people doing big data like that are, you may think of this and set it up. You may have to let it run over a weekend, but it'll catch up, and then you have a completely new data store to be able to pull reports in a completely different way.
But that's people doing big data. That's people with big data hardware and configurations. We're not a big data house. We have, I would say, 20 servers total for our network.
Well, it doesn't have to be big data. Once you have the records, once you have this event stream, you write your new consumer, and it's going to take some time to catch up, but it's not going to take months. It may take a couple of days, depending on how many events you have.
I suppose.
So, I don't know. I haven't done it personally. It's just, from videos I'm watching that talk like that. We collect millions of events a day, and then at some point down the road, it could be years down the road, they think of a new schema they need, and they just reconsume the events.
I'm just tired of these so-called liberal experts.
What?
What the?
Where did that come from? What are you talking about? Oh gosh.
You can tell we're actually running to the end of the show when I just ramble.
Is that what you do?
We've been at the end of the show since we started. Then what are you talking about?
Can I close on some positive news?
Oh, is it really positive?
Topical positive news.
I put doom and gloom up there. All right, go ahead.
No, keep it up. For years, the mega corporation of Disney has controlled copyright in America But this year, for the first time in 20 years, copyrighted works will now be entering the public domain.
Right.
Robert Frost is one of the big guys who gets quoted. But, Mickey Mouse is no longer under copyright protection this year. So, 2019, do with Mickey what you will.
I'm sure there are plenty of people in your business who will take you up on that offer.
Yes, send me whatever you come up with.
Some very inappropriate things will be done with Mickey in 2019, apparently.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is. Have you noticed the Sherlock Holmes situation right now, where there's currently 5 franchises for Sherlock Holmes?
No.
No.
I've seen multiple, or at least one TV shows, or multiple.
Yeah, there's Sherlock, which is the Benedict Cumberbatch. There's Watson, which is the
spinoff.
No, I think it's a Fox property focusing on Watson's role in Sherlock Holmes. There's the Sherlock Holmes movie with Robert Downey Jr. There's the Sherlock Holmes movie coming out with John C. Reilly and what's his name? There's currently 5 active Sherlock Holmes properties in mainstream production. And that's because Sherlock Holmes was right at the cutoff for copyright, and it's in the public domain. Anyone can make a Sherlock Holmes thing. But since 1992, that cutoff date got extended an additional 25 or 30 years. It's been a long, long time. It's been 20 years since anything new has become public domain where anyone can make something out of it. There's a lot of really great stories, a lot of really great ideas that have been locked down by vested interests, preventing them from being made, that are now going to be in the public domain. And I'm excited to see new stories actually hitting the marketplace. And it's a big win that Disney was not able to extend the copyright again after 75 years of owning the copyright for Mickey.
Is that what it used to be, 75, and then it got extended to 100?
It's 75 like now. It's 75 years after the passing of the author or the creator. So, essentially, 3 generations after you die, that's when your copyright expires.
I have to check. I think I have a book that Sherlock Holmes teaches you Pascal. I have to find that book. I'm serious. I'm pretty sure I have a book like that.
I don't doubt that. That's because anyone can do what they want with the original Sherlock Holmes media, as long as it relates to the originally written content. This interesting stuff about Robert Frost is that there have been collections of Robert Frost's poetry published, but they all stopped with his works past 1922. So there are people who have very well-known works in the public domain, but then the rest of the work for the rest of their lives is not well-known because it's not in the public domain. And one of the first things being published in 2019 is a complete collection of Robert Frost's poems, which has never been published before in the public domain. So now it's just there. Now when you go to Google and search Robert Frost poems in 2019, you'll get all of them, which you didn't before. And to think that in somebody who lived in 1922, you couldn't get their 1923 poem, it's kind of weird. But now, The Road Less Traveled is the last poem that he published in the public domain in 1921. That's why everyone knows it.
Interesting. Thanks for sharing.
Cool.
Let's wrap up.
That's good. I love it.
All right. That seems like a good spot to wrap things up. I appreciate everybody and their patience with our experience here. Our experiment, not experience. Experience is what happened, but whether or not we continue down this path, I feel like we will. But obviously, we need to figure out a few more things here with our new workflow. But I hope people watching the video have a little bit more appreciation for the context they're receiving, the content they're receiving. Trying to make it a little bit more informative. Besides that, I don't know, man. Thanks again. Wait a minute. I got a scene for this. Thanks again to all our patrons. Yeah. Thanks again for all our patrons.
Hold on, waiting for it. Slow down.
If you wish to become a Patreon,
there it is.
There's the link at the bottom. It's patreon.com/phpugly. And feel free. We're going to. I need to order.
What is that? Just says Sean.
Yeah, well, that's what Sean is, and I just export the list, man. I don't tell you.
That dude's building a public profile. We have to put his full name on there.
He didn't put his full name on there, so I don't know to tell you, man. But yeah, I'm still getting. I need to order the mini lanyards for PHP Ugly for the people I promised that to, and we'll be getting the mission control lanyards out as well. Probably next year. I mean, next year being in a couple weeks. I mean, we got so much going on here at the end of the year. We'll probably get those packages going out first week or two in January. So. Look for those soon. All right, I think that's going to do it for episode 133? Is that it?
133. Yep, sounds good.
Episode 133 of PHP Ugly. I am Eric Van Johnson.
I'm John Congdon.
I'm Tom Rideout.
That was weird. Why did that take so long? Ugh.
I was engaging with our audience. Excuse me.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it ugly.
All right.
Oh my! Can I touch my keyboard now?
You can touch your keyboard.
Yes.
So
please
I guess
touch your keyboard.
I can keep the stream going, and we'll just cut all this stuff out for anybody who's interested. Yeah, I'll edit this one. Don't worry. Let me try something when I have you guys on, because I think I can actually do a call recorder cannot start recording this call because in your live stream. Oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, so I can't even record Skype with my Skype recorder. I don't know what we're going to do about that. Okay. Well,
it's okay. We can't seem to record locally anyway, so there's got to be another option other than Skype.
Not for this.
Yeah, I haven't mentioned, but Skype does not work for me.
Why?
I have had to reset my audio settings every 2 minutes, the whole episode, because your audios just went out.
So what we can try to do is we can try to do the Hangout again. I just won't be able to do the switching anymore.
I have a week off. Let me do some research while you edit.
Yeah, no. Well, what I was going to say is we can do the Hangout. We can do that in the browser, and just the same way I share the Firefox browser. We can test sharing a Hangout browser, see if there's a delay in how the audio sounds. I mean, if that works.
Keisha, this has something to do with his application he's using. So other audio videos isn't necessarily going to fix it.
Yeah.
I'll do some research. I've got lots of time on my hands.
What's the application you're using?
Skype.
No,
He's talking about me. It's called Ecamm. ECAMM. It's a Mac OS specific app. And I mean, I kind of know why, because of all the trouble we were having with OBS. So
I need a new camera though, bro. We got to put Patreon bucks towards that.
Why? What's wrong with your camera?
Look, we can put it to a vote. You guys are the Patreons. Where's that Patreon buck go? Does it make me look better?
The camera's not going to change that.
I was saying, we don't have that much money, Thomas.
Does it make me look higher resolution?
Do you think John and I are looking better than you do on our cameras?
Yeah, you guys are 1080p. I'm 720i.
How do you know that? How do you see that?
I'm a gamer, bro. I see in pixels, like the Matrix.
Discord. I think. I mean, obviously, they're still like 30 seconds behind. Discord.
Okay, good point. Halloween mask works.
Can you see an actual quality difference between our cameras? Gishu, who else is out there?
Significant quality difference.
I mean, we're just better looking in general, but
I am in a dark room too.
Yeah. So everybody's saying there is. Yeah. Okay. Whose camera's the worst? Are you all agreeing that Thomas does need a new cam? Gishu agrees with you. Yeah.
You bought me this camera for this podcast 2 years ago.
I did.
Oh, now it's our fault. Thanks.
I bought that
thanking
for
him.
you, right? Yeah.
Yeah, you bought it for me.
Yeah, I did. What did I buy you? I didn't buy you the same. I didn't buy you the Logitech.
You bought me the 720. You bought me the $20 Logitech.
Really? That's not like me. All right.
Well, it was before we started even doing a podcast, and I was like, "Hey, we should do a podcast." And you're like, "Yeah, I'll get you a camera for that."
I'm such a sucker. All right, I'm going to finish the stream. So I don't know what this is going to do to the Skype call, but we'll see what happens here. Thanks everybody for listening. I do appreciate it. Let me throw up the Patreons one more time for anybody who still might be watching. Thanks to all the Patreons who patrons.
No patrons.
Who contribute. We do appreciate it.
No E.
Watch us next week and see what happens.